the discomfort, when you have a discomfort, you not want to have a solution to it of some sort. So that not in the sense of control, like a control freak would, although
Hmm.
partly maybe that is what it is, but
Yeah.
the fact that you seem incapable, it starts to eat into other parts of your life. When the parking example is a small example, but sometimes I've seen, I had a friend, and we were going for a meeting. I think in 1 minute, and I'm not exaggerating, she must have changed the radio channel at least 70, 80 times. And she kept changing it. The whole energy in the car was so nervous. And I had to tell her, relax, if you don't like any of the music, but she would hear one snippet, it would change, it would change, it would change. And I do not know whether nervousness and fear can be clubbed together. I'm just giving you a sense of how our minds work inside. That was a manifestation. Obviously, her mind would be working into overdrive of some kind, whatever her thoughts must have been. Since we were professional colleagues, one couldn't say beyond that. Uh, Even in the case of fear, sometimes when your mind starts to pick up the subject and blow it up, at that time we do not have a handle on it. And I, if I were to venture out on a limb, I would say uh, our sanity sometimes tends to get compromised. Would it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that sense, isn't a little bit of, when I mean control, maybe balance it out. What what is it that one can say to oneself, or what is it? Acknowledging it is one bit, but once you
Hmm.
acknowledge it, it sometimes becomes the main show in the cinema of your mind. Then it becomes, the fear starts to drive all our thoughts, our actions, our words. How does one then look at oneself? How does one get any kind of objectivity? Because now the fear is taken over and we are operating from the mind, obviously. So my question came from that space. What would,
Yeah, I get what. Sorry, go on.
no, no, what would you suggest at that point?
See, it's going to be a bit tricky to give any kind of suggestions here, simply because uh, I think for me personally, I would say if you're allowing something to take over your mind, or that incident or that fear to dictate everything else on that day or on that given situation, it will continue to do so. So for me, I would look at it as what you really tell your mind.
Okay.
Am I making sense? I mean, because I think there are more merits when you face your fear. It may not help. Like in my situation today, I was worried about being stuck in the traffic, not finding parking, and being late to the office. I wanted to avoid all three of that. Have I reached a solution? Maybe today I have reached a solution. I've decided I'll walk back, uh, but will I plan to walk every day? I don't know. But on the positive side, I feel if I'm able to commute to the office, which I know I'm very lucky because not many people have that luxury to walk into the office. The positives for me is probably I'm done with my 5K walking target for the day.
Okay.
So I feel if something is bothering you, if it's something you're fearing, you may not one may not have an immediate solution. I'll be surprised if anybody who is fearing something is able to come to a conclusion about that situation immediately, but
Hmm.
you're able to acknowledge it and let it simmer along with other things that are happening in a day. Maybe that could lead to something else.
Okay. So would